million children that are being forced to work in sweatshops around the world. There are some frightening statistics. These abused, beautiful people are abused through sexual exploitation in tourism, in the sweatshops, in various forms of work, and as we heard tonight, also being brought over for marriage, etc. All kinds of horrible situations that occur, and there's about 5,000 people that leave the Philippines every day. There's around 500 that come to Canada every day, dispersed amongst our country. And many of these women come and they have been shopped online, and they come and they marry, and they find that they're in horrendous situations. In one of my works, I'm a justice of the peace, so I have married hundreds and hundreds of people that come to this country. So I see this on a first-hand basis. And some of the situations are good, many of them are deplorable. Each victim has their own story, their own personal story, and it is marked by pain and suffering and fear. And when these stories and voices come together, they form a very shameful tragedy that all of us here have heard today, that we need to come together in order to help, in order to educate, and to train. Trafficking affects the most fragile and vulnerable girls, boys, and adults. 27% are children, so that's basically 1 in every 4 universally that are being exploited in horrible ways. 75% are girls and women. They are abandoned in foreign countries with fear for their lives, without any support. They are held hostage without escape. They want help, but they are threatened into silence. And the most recent atrocity was that the 39 victims, boys, girls, men, and women, whose families paid between $10,000 and $30,000 $10,000 to £30,000 to free them from extreme poverty in Vietnam, to hope and to educate and for a better life in the UK. And they all died, suffering, suffocating, and succumbed to death in a refrigeration truck. We have to raise our voices, confront the economic conditions that create victims, empower, educate our children and families, and provide safe houses. We need to arrest traffickers, and we need to convict them and protect the vulnerable who have been victimized, to access support and safety for them. And we give gratitude to Deborah for revealing her story. And also, this story was on CBC, it was on the radio, and it took enormous courage for you to come forward, to rise above being abused into being a survivor and a thriver. And we're grateful for all the other organizations that are here today. The Safe House, Win House, CEASE, ACT, NASHI, and all the other agencies that are being represented here today. By collaborating together, our work at Greenlight Awareness brings an opportunity of awareness for human trafficking. And my colleagues, Timothy, who's co-chair with me, and Jay, who is secretary-treasurer, and our member at large.
Or a large member.
Or a large member. We are bringing voices to the atrocities of human trafficking and to raise funds in order to share with one agency each time that we do this gala. And what's really hard for us is that our voice is small. There's only 4 of us that actually are on this committee. We keep trying to get more people to become involved with us. And because we're sort of a tertiary society of raising funds to give back to NASHI, number one, and also to another organization, we invite anyone who would like to join us and to empower. The Maple Leaf House in the Ukraine uses the NASHI, uses the maple leaf because it's the sign of something powerful in the Ukraine. It's also the sign of Canada, so we are united in that front as well. And today on our tables we have maple leaves in order to bring that awareness. People are not property. We want to turn survivors into victors and stand in solidarity. To all of you who are here today, we say thank you. And it is the best prayer that anyone could ever say. Thank you expresses extreme gratitude to all of you, humility, and understanding. And let us also be grateful on this eve of Remembrance Day to give thanks for those wonderful people who gave their lives so that we may live without fear. And I'm also reminded by two incredibly powerful women who shaped this world today with the words destiny. The first quote is, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." Joan of Arc in 1429. The Maid of Orleans. She led an army at 15 and died to save a country. Another quote is, "All I was doing was trying to get home from work." Rosa Parks, 1985, on refusing to move to the back of the bus. Lest we not forget. There's also some statistics if people are interested in this. I'm going to hand these around. Some of them were from 2016. As we all know, it's so hard to have statistics because it's such an underground.
I've
It's
seen
all
three different
underground.
versions just tonight.
Yeah.
On various things. The last ones I have that I'll be using on Tuesday is, and I use this for the students I'm talking to, the number of slaves. I mean, you talk about children in sweatshops that go home at night are not counted in this total, but the number of slaves is about the same as the population of Canada. So basically our whole country could be, so it's $42 billion a year industry.
I know, it's absolutely extraordinary, and it's everywhere. And we people here are powerful. We all have a voice, and I know that the politicians don't want to hear any of this. But if we keep talking and sharing and doing what we're doing, support one another, support each other's agencies, there's possibilities, there's hope.
Start the conversation.
Yeah, it's a conversation. It's a voice. Many voices are here tonight. What we're going to do, we've pulled people that have bid on the silent auctions. Please come to Janae to pay her and take your item. And then for the things that are left over, would you please see me? I've talked to Jesse's House, and there's other organizations. Deborah, if you want anything. Anybody else? Does anyone else have a silent auction coming up in their organization relatively soon? Please.
Yes, please take, especially stuff that could freeze.
Yes, yes. Because we're sending to Nashi as well. Are you going back? Not tonight, you're
No,
going to
but
stay
going back
over.
tomorrow, but I don't want to have to haul all over my
It'll
room.
still be cold.
Well, we'll
You know,
give you
so-
things that don't freeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Kay, before you leave, give a big hand to Barbara Day and the Green Life Awareness Society for this wonderful and inspiring conversation tonight. Let's give them a round.
Thank you.